Welcome back to G-Tap.
Oh, I don't remember finding this before.
G-Tap.
Well, I'm sorry. We found something new. Oh, look, there's a thing
Oh,
there.
look, it's a Mario game. There's something new and interesting to look at.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Desert Oasis.
Oh, okay.
That's right, we have a cowboy uniform, don't
Yes, we do. I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride.
we? Yeah, which is the Odyssey, which is what we're going to take, because you got plenty of moons to move on.
Alright, fine.
Because we've challenged the inverted pyramid, and we dealt with the ice Olmec thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that now.
And it is time for another week of journeys in the
Another week of
world
of Odyssey, you mean?
Odyssey?
Our Odyssey?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So we'll put these in here. We have a crap ton of power moons.
But the Odyssey's always hungry for more.
It hungers. It does not go without its hunger. Ah, look at that. We made another sail. Look at that.
The Odyssey's powered up.
So where do we go next here? Oh, we got branching paths. Ooh.
So the choices are yours and yours alone.
You want to do the
Lake Kingdom or the Wooded Kingdom?
Ooh. You know, I'm not one for swimming, so I am gonna go for the Wooded Kingdom.
All right. Well, now you can never go back to the Lake Kingdom ever. This is like a David Cage game. We are just going to never ever see the other side. That's not true.
And we're coming up into the sky here.
All right.
And,
You know, this is the one part of the game that I didn't like.
what's that?
Well, so you get this little bit, right?
Okay.
He kidnapped Tiara, and now he's gonna go and get the binding band. Okay, cool. That's plot. Now it's time for even 30 hours into this game for us to remind you of something you probably already know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all every single time. I like you took your hat off,
Well, yeah, you're talking to me.
right,
Yeah.
you're talking to
You're
him.
talking to me. You have to.
but I like you still have the cowboy uniform on.
But cowboy doesn't just go away just because you're inside.
You can take the Mario out of the cowboy uniform, but you can't take the cowboy uniform out of the Mario.
Yes, the Steen Gardens.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
I reckon there'd be some trouble in these here
Straight off
parts.
the Mario Party 2 cover.
Totally. Well, that's what like all of the costumes are. All of them are really good homages, or there's something that's never been touched before. Like in this game, they introduced like Mario with like kind of the wedding uniform that he has for the amiibo, for instance.
That makes sense, too.
I love these guys.
things. They look like clap traps.
Well, so sort of all of this is based on, especially that shape. I know someone watched the movie Silent Running when they designed this level, which is weird because that's not a very well-known thing.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know what Silent Running is.
But the shape of those has to be from Silent Running. It can't be coincidence.
So, what is
Now, I
Silent...
mean, they're a watering can, obviously, but I'm talking about that trapezoidal shape that they have. So Silent Running is a movie that was made in the late 70s that's about a crew of a cargo spaceship run by, I think, American Airlines.
Okay.
He doesn't belong here.
I'm talking to a sphinx.
Greetings, traveler, and your hat as well.
What does this monster want from this kingdom?
You don't know yet. You haven't
Yeah,
figured out
yeah,
the
they
plot.
told us in the thing.
Oh.
King with flowers, yeah. If you paid attention.
Perhaps that wasn't much of a riddle.
Anyway.
So
So Silent Running's a movie, like, they're transporting, and what they're transporting is, like, these big biospheres. Like, they're basically portable forests, like, in these little, like, biodomes
Okay.
out in space.
Okay.
Well, they get an order to just dump them. Like, they dump the cargo and then come home.
Okay.
And it's implied heavily that these are, like, the last forests. Like, deforestation and stuff, and environmental neglect on Earth has left it with they don't have, like, plants anymore.
Okay.
Except in, like, greenhouses. And so basically, the guy who's been tending the garden, the guy who's been sort of the botanist on the team,
Oh.
has like a psychological break. Because he can't let the forest be destroyed. So ends up homicidally killing his cohorts and kind of protecting the forest. And at the end, like, the way things go down, the way the company's trying to find him, he basically sends them out to deep space with these little robots, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which are robots that look a lot like these watering can robots.
Okay.
He basically programs them to maintenance the forest forever.
Oh, okay.
And it's just this sort of, like, environmental scary tale of, like, oh my god, what if we let it go that bad?
Interesting. Okay.
It's kind of cool. But it's a very unique science fiction film, which is why I go... I mean, that's what this is like the end result of all these robots taking care of a forest and there's no humans or anything around.
I just think they look like Claptrap. I was gonna say something stupid and try to get me to go to a pizza party.
Okay. They're like Claptrap upside down. Claptrap's kind of like top heavy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I can extend.
I
That's
love
awesome.
these things.
It's like,
Burp.
no.
And they got a stash because of you.
Of course.
What do you think of this music?
It's not bad. It's kind of.
Like surfer rock.
Yeah. That's. I was gonna say like.
Amongst a lot of people, this is a lot of people's favorite track.
I don't know if I'd say call it my favorite, but it's not bad.
It's nice and like relaxing. It's very zen. Oh, somebody got a power moon.
Boom.
Nut round the corner.
Nothing around the corner, huh? That's what we went for that now one. Huh? Somebody's actually really talented if you can.
Turbo puns.
If you can nut around a corner, it's you got some talent.
Yeah. Oh, you could do that. I was just going with the concept of nut like producing
Oh no,
nothing.
Yeah, I know what you were
Nothing
going for.
around
That's
the
not,
corner.
That's not what I was going for.
Don't make me put the mature tag on this thing. Get rid of that goop.
Oh, they're throwing their goop at me. I don't like it.
Ah, there's plant goop all over you.
There we go. Go. I gotta fight this guy on my own. There we go.
Done and done.
Easy enough.
I don't know if I ever did that one. Interesting.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Mac has played this game all the way through. I have not. I
was
have
really
done nothing of the sort.
So I didn't really want to get Mario because, like, I'm not like super into them. I haven't liked Galaxy. I didn't like Sunshine. I didn't like Galaxy 2. I wrote, just keep running away. It'll eventually come back to you.
Say.
There you go. So I had zero plans on getting this. And then an Amazon order went wrong where basically I had canceled Skyrim, which was on the same order as this when I pre-ordered them.
Wait, what?
Skyrim and Mario I had on the same Amazon pre-order.
Yeah, but you own Skyrim as well.
Well, no. I went to cancel. I went to cancel this, and I canceled my Skyrim. I had to go make another Skyrim pre-order after this showed up in the mail. And so I didn't. So I had it, and then I'm like, I might actually just return it because I really don't have any interest. And then I was sick as a dog the weekend this came out, and I had nothing better to do. And I'm like, well, screw it. I'll turn on Mario. Why not? And 48 hours later, I'd beaten it. I mean, I was sick, so that's like, I don't know. I played this for like 3 days straight, basically. And it's really good. I think it's a million times better than anything since Mario 64. And I don't know. I have fond memories of Mario 64, but some of that I think is because I was a kid.
Oh, it's also Mario 64 gets the pass just for innovation a lot of time too. Mm-hmm. Another power moon. What am I nutting this time? Not in the red maze.
The nut in the red maze.
Mario's is not everywhere.
And there's all this purple goo too. But the thing that actually I loved about this game, and I think that Nintendo is just knocking it out of the park, is there's always good stuff to be doing. What I mean by that is there's always something little you could be doing or something big you could be doing. It's like Zelda Breath of the Wild in that way, where there's just you can go in, just get a little bite-sized snack, or you can go do something big if you want. Either way, you can engage this game for as little or as long as you want it to go. And I really, really appreciate that.
So speaking of that, and Zelda, Breath of the Wild, everything that's going on here, we are at the end of the year. And you and I have already discussed this already, but I'm curious to see what you think. Well, you and I both have the same game of the year already.
Yeah, Zelda.
But yeah, Zelda is the game of the year for us. That's
Zelda is the game of the year. End full stop. And I really, really going to have great umbrage with... Unless you just have no space in your heart at all for adventure games, I can't see how that's not... Or you haven't played it. How that's not your game of the year. And the reason is because, like, this is a fun game, right? It's a really, really, really great Mario game.
Yeah.
It's also a Mario game. Like, it's not really changing the boundaries of what Mario is or hasn't been. It's just a really, really, really good one. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is in one of the most crowded spaces of video games, the open world genre, and innovated like a lot of things. Like, that's something that a lot of other games have tried to do and failed at. Like,
from what it seems like, at least from what I've read, it seems like most writers and things like that is between Zelda, this, and PUBG.
And PUBG still hasn't come out yet. It's supposed to come out before the end of the year, but there's a lot of publications that are printed as a game of the year before it actually comes out. Which, here's my thing. If you want to start saying that early access totally is fine, that's par for the course. Like, we're no longer going to judge games whether they're in develop. You know, when does a game come out, right? That's fine. Then I never want to hear another journalist ever complain about pre-ordering games. Because you're saying that it's okay to spend money on something that's unfinished. And if that's true, then that's true across the board. Right? I mean, how many journalists want you to read the review before you go and buy the game? Almost all of them, because they want their review to be meaningful to your purchasing choice, right?
Oh, I made a boo-boo. No.
Yep. Slowly.
Slow death.
Also remember, if you don't catch a coin, you can actually cap it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
That's my only inconsistency.
I don't think...
is everyone. So many journalists are like, "Don't pre-order it. Wait for the reviews," and then everyone's super gun ho about this game that they loved in May that doesn't even resemble exactly the game they played in May. Because in May, it was a phenomenon. Now, it's still a really good game, but there's a lot of bad stuff that has crept into it. Like, you know, people that are aimbotting, people that are using a lot of exploits.
Yeah.
The game isn't as fun as it was back then. And I feel that, like...
back then it was just, you had the reviewers playing it and that was about it.
Yeah, and I think they really enjoyed that. So it's one of those things of, like, if you want to say PUBG is one of the most important games of 2017, I'm all for it. But if you want to tell me in any universe, I don't care who you are, that somehow Zelda is not more important and better than it, I have no common ground with you to understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? And that's just because, again, regardless of Zelda, like, for gaming, the things that were introduced in there are going to be in tons of games like 2 years from now.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I mean, I can understand why it's up for it, but, like, if you look at it, Fortnite essentially is PUBG.
There's a lot of people that say, actually, Fortnite is a more polished PUBG.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of people say, well, it's second. I'm like, well, technically this game mode has existed before, too. It's just, this is the one that got it right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know, PUBG's interesting. I will probably look to try it on the Xbox when it comes out. I don't play shooters on PCs because even when I had a PC when I was playing like late 90s shooters, I never really liked keyboard and mouse.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Well, the mouse is definitely a really awesome pointing device, but then you have to use a keyboard to interact, and I'd always want a joystick for movement. That's why I like the Steam controller a lot. It's kind of like the best of both of those worlds in that way.
So I used to play PC shooters. Like I was really into like Team Fortress when it first got like
Sure.
the original team. Nutted in the Planet Tower.
Yeah.
But I haven't really gotten into PC shooters in a long time.
Yeah, so I know there's a whole culture of people that love it that way, and that's totally fine. It's just that's not the way I prefer shooters, and I'm terrible at them. So any place I can be slightly less terrible at them is great with me.
There we go.
Stretching your legs.
He doesn't scream "Here we go" anymore.
No, but that's because you don't like set the level either.
Yeah, still. Ooh, look at that. We're getting to a boss fight.
Next time on GTAB, we're gonna go see which one of the uncomfortably rendered. The Brutals aren't bad, but they're just kind of off-putting.
They're creepy. They're like a weird inbred family.
Yeah, there's a real hillbilly vibe there. Yeah. That's a good word for it.
So,
All right.
Next time, see which brutal I have to hit 3 times to beat them.
For GTAB, I'm Mac.
I'm Kaz.
Yeah.
How do you
Buck teeth.
How do you afford a flying ship on a wedding planner seller?
Oh, there's always an advance on that. The second you hire the catering, you're paying the money whether they do anything for you or not.
Ah, that makes sense.